coverage of the National Football League brings us to the vibrant capital city of Dublin, Ireland. Coming up, another installment of the NFL International Series, and it should be a great one, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. On the visitor's sideline, Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell. These guys finally got in the win column last week following 2 straight losses to start the year. On the other side, the head coach of the home team. His guys, the designated home team here in the Irish capital. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, so happy to be here. We are underway from Dublin, folks, in the NFL International Series. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
Last week's game.
Good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Yeah, they got the win.
You had the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
Give him another shot.
All right, I think the ratio's pretty good. He'll try to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
This defense for the Steelers, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Let's see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll hit the deck, but he did not get there. Only 2 yards, and it'll be a punt on their opening possession.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless. Slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Here's Kent to return. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with,
right? If you go 3 to 1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Now runs straight ahead and one. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33. You look at this defense for the Vikings. Now, they're going to be tough to throw on, no doubt. Currently ranked 3rd in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
On 4th down, Corliss Waitman on to punt. 2, 7 on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Well, the Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, 1st and 10.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now McCarthy. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hawkinson. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds, back near their own 20. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. Now, they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down. And you see the numbers in last week's game for Warren. 12 carries, 68 yards.
They're coming off of back-to-back wins, and I think a lot of credit belongs to this guy right here because, to me, he's not only carried his weight, he's carried a few other guys along as well. He's helped draw defensive attention away from not just him, but open things up for his teammates, too. So if this winning streak is going to continue to have some legs to it, he has to remain effective and put together another nice game.
Rodgers now to throw. They'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. Second down. The Steelers at 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
That's complete. And Owen caught it up. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's second down.
4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6. At the 36-yard line.
McCarthy operating from the gun. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. You look at this Steeler defense. They've been excellent against the pass. The number 6 unit in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is go.
Now the ball comes loose. When the defense says they have it, they do. One play into the ball game, an early turnover.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done, because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
At the 39-yard line.
4 receivers to keep tabs on here. 3 of them to the right side on second and 5.
319. Hey, 626. Look again.
On the give, it's Warren. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Second and 10 at the 23-yard line.
319.
Rodgers going to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 18 yards that time to push him up, first and goal.
And the Steelers first down. First and goal at the 5-yard line.
319.
Now a running play here with Smith. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
Brandon, if I wanted to run the football this close to the goal line, I think I just turn around and hand it to my tailback. Too many things could go wrong in this situation. I think they're fortunate just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
Screen 18! Screen 18!
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. This a 33-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Looking to put a drive together. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. And a result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. The numbers on the ground for Jones last week, 18 carries, 56 yards.
How about we shine a little spotlight on the offensive line? Those big guys up front are creating nice space, nice gaps for them to run through. I think he's going to go for over 100 yards in this game.
He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
McCarthy going to sneak it, and he will have a Vikings first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. But nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the 2nd quarter, it has been a struggle. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taken in at the 22. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They got to take care of business first.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He'll find Metcalf. Down the right sideline. DK Metcalf. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. DK Metcalf. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. All right, because once he off. I mean, let's face it. That should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Boswell good with the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And makes it across the 20 as his guys are set up shop at the 23-yard line. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint. Down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7. 2nd down and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Again, it's Jones. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
McCarthy going to sneak it. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Alex Highsmith able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
So here's a 3rd and 14. Throwing is McCarthy. Looking downfield for Jones. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Steelers offense and DK Metcalf getting ready to go back to work. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in this first half, it has resulted in a big play, as borne out by the numbers. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. And their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
A handoff for Warren. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
Here's Warren. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Short throw to Smith. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Johnson. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
Warren. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Extra point now by Boswell. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run.
Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. stopped up at the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level.
And got his man complete. Down to the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 74 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They've done nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
The extra point attempt to come here. And it's 17-7. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Looking to put a drive together. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Short throw to Smith. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. To throw, it's Rodgers. Got his man, it's Warren. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Gain of 14 yards. That's good for a Steelers first down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Throwing now is Rodgers. A short one there to Freiermuth. Big strides, look at him go. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Freiermuth, 58 yards. And the Steelers add 6 to their lead. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. It seemed like they may be giving up momentum. And not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again. And you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Boswell for the extra point. Make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone.
Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. this out to the 25. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line.
To the air with McCarthy.
Catch is made by Hopkinson, the tight end. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
And the Vikings first down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
It's 2nd down.
Looking to throw McCarthy. Out route to Jefferson, and he's got it.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Here comes 3rd down and 7. Here's McCarthy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 30.
It's a gain of 17 yards.
Looking to throw.
McCarthy looking for Addison again, and he's got him again.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
A gain of 11 on the play. First down, Vikings.
McCarthy going to throw again.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And that will get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And his kick is indeed good, and that will do it for this first half.
So these two teams off to their locker rooms for intermission, and that means we go to Orlando. Here's Scott Hansen.
Our trip around the NFL starts now with a good matchup in the AFC. Okay, Brandon, thank you. This, the first official Sunday of fall, the final week before byes kick in. A full schedule of 16 games on tap. Let's roll. And it's Joe Burrow. He is at his best when the lights are brightest. 4 touchdown passes for him on the night. Meanwhile, let's check in on the Dolphins as they host the New York Jets. And this is Devon Achane. He's a weapon in the run game. He's a weapon in the passing game. Look at him go. This will be an 83-yard catch and run for the touchdown. The Dolphins get back to 500, 2 up, 2 down as they get the victory at home. Lastly, let's go out to Arrowhead. The Chiefs taking on the Baltimore Ravens. And it's the NFL's all-pro quarterback 2 years running, Lamar Jackson. He connects. It's a 16-yard touchdown. The Ravens bounce back from the loss in Week 3. They move to 3-1 with the W. With that, a look here at the rest of the scores from around the NFL here in Week 4. Meanwhile, in our game, it was a competitive, hard-hitting first half. We expect more of the same going forward as we send you back out to the stadium with Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They've reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had the luck when they saw it in that first half.
Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
To throw is Rodgers. Short throw to Smith. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 1.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. Now a run and one. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And now the ball's out, full near midfield. But it looked like the Steelers weren't able to recover, and they will indeed hold on to the ball.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
No gain on the
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
319.
On 3rd and short, going with their tight end. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
No gain on the play. It's 4th down.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And he is caught. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Waitman now to punt as he sends this one away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Throwing to start the drive. McCarthy. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
To T.J. Hawkinson. A gain of 13 yards. And the Vikings 1st down.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. 43 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain, or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
Oh, he'll work that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Working out of the gun is McCarthy. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
This is brought in at the 21. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Javon Hargrave there on the stop.
2nd and 9.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle didn't make him play.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. 3rd and 2. Here's Rodgers. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
It's a game of 23 yards. That's good for us Steelers. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. Again from the middle to Johnson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Throwing is Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Wilson. First target, first catch at a 1st down.
9 yards. And the Steelers 1st down.
Up the middle, Johnson. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh 1st. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now it's Rodgers. Now a screen set up for Johnson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Now Rodgers. Man, and he hits him in stride. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
A gain of 10 makes it 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. Here's Rodgers to throw. McKinnon here, it's complete. He appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
2 on the play.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Steelers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They only needed that 1 yard going for it on 4th. I got to be honest. I thought they were going to stay on the ground. They surprised me. Did they surprise you?
I'm with you on that one. I thought they'd find a way to create some type of a power run and try and pick up the 1st down. But they decided to keep the ball in the hands of the guy who could throw it, and it paid off.
And the decision paid off indeed. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
This is obviously a critical sequence for this defense if they want to stay in this game. Down 2 scores already. They give up a touchdown here. That'll make things really difficult for their offense moving forward.
58, screen it, get up.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
And goal to go.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to the Emerald Isle. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Rodgers now to throw. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
Well on for the field goal. A 21-yard attempt.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the 4th quarter. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
A gain of 14. First down, Minnesota.
McCarthy is set to throw it. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Incomplete. It leads to 2nd and 10.
Now McCarthy. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's down the field for Jefferson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to pick up the Vikings' first down on what will be a big play there on 4th and long. Throwing is McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2. At the Steelers' 37-yard line.
And inside, get it to Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
The offense on 3rd down, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 3. Under pressure, and down he goes. T.J. Watt able
able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
41 yards rushing for him now to this point. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on first down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL, even if you picked up the first down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to make 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the first down because in college football, the clock stops with every first down and actually aids the defense in that situation.
Wide left. 258. Yeah, there.
First carry for Kenneth Gainwell. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
That's another Steelers.
On the ground, this is Smith. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
Shy of the goal line.
2nd and goal from the 1.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
Gainwell is into the end zone for a Steeler touchdown.
Sometimes offensive, you get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 24.
Chris Boswell to kick off.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on 4th, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on 4th down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride to the offense this go around. And Hockenson going to have the Vikings first down as he'll be brought down at the 38-yard line. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. McCarthy operating from the gun. Middle of the field to Jefferson. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's 3rd and 10. To the air with McCarthy. Had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Going for it, here's McCarthy. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
258!
Running from the gun, Johnson. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Rodgers looking to throw. Completes it to Austin. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. The catch and run there, good for 16 in the 1st.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
Rodgers going to throw. He'll find Gainwell out of the backfield. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
It's a gain of 16.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Johnson will score. Touchdown, Steelers. So it goes from a 3-score to a 4-score lead here in the closing moments of the 4th quarter. And whether they got that bonus touchdown or not, it's been a pretty impressive performance.
And they did it with not much time left. But they took what little time was on the clock and used it well, didn't they? put a real exclamation point on their win with that score.
Extra point now by Boswell. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 23.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, this is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted.
Picked up by Jalen Ramsey.
And Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Pittsburgh, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And now they'll face the prospect of a long